Hi, I'm Aneesha Kommineni, Product Manager for Material Design. Today, I'm excited to share the latest updates to Material, so you can design and build even more premium, engaging, and usable products. I'll introduce the update and the research behind it. Then, you'll get all the juicy details from material designer Andrew Liu and material engineer Connie. For those who don't already know, Material is Google's open source design system for building beautiful and usable products. It's what we use to build Google's apps, from Gmail to Gemini, and it's the official design language for Android. Material 3 is our latest version. It launched in 2021 with the aim of adding even more flexibility, color, and personality into products. Now we're doubling down on that promise. Today, we're introducing an expansion pack of new components and capabilities designed to add even more emotional oomph to your UIs and ensuring your end users have a deeper connection to your product, find it easier to use, and get a bit more joy from key interactions. Okay, let's meet Material 3 Expressive. This update is named M3 Expressive because expressive UIs have an emotional impact. They express a mood through unexpected shapes, eye-catching colors, and new motion physics. They make you feel something. At last year's Google I/O, we introduced a set of attributes for understanding user perceptions of interfaces, and many of them were emotional words: playful, energetic, creative, friendly, and positive. Expressive designs consistently score higher on these attributes, on top of already being useful, helpful, and trusted. Here's an example of a fictional media player. The non-expressive version is on the left, and the M3 expressive version is on the right. The expressive version is more visually engaging and fun, using our new shape and color capabilities to draw attention to the playback controls. And the motion of the wavy indicator makes the progress of the media play more exciting. Here's another example, this time from a Google product, Fitbit. You can see how the original design is very functional and readable. It's great. But the M3 Expressive design uses the new shape library, toolbar, and other elements to strengthen the hierarchy and guide your attention to important parts of the screen. Even seemingly small expressive changes can cause impressive gains in clarity, usability, and user delight. And we have the data to back it up. Over the past 3 years, we've been diving deep into what makes a user experience truly engaging. M3 Expressive is backed by more user research than any previous update to Google's design system ever. We're talking 46 separate studies with hundreds of designs tested and more than 18,000 participants from around the world. So, what did all this research tell us? People prefer M3 expressive designs and are more likely to want to switch to a product using these components and techniques. And get this, that preference is particularly strong, up to 87%, among 18 to 24-year-olds. Across all age groups, expressive design is favored. We also found that expressive products are more usable. Participants spotted key UI elements up to 4 times faster than in non-expressive screens. What's really cool is that it can also level the playing field for users. Usability tests typically find that older adults take longer to visually locate key UI elements. But with M3 Expressive, we saw a dramatic erasure of the age gap. And the larger buttons and clearer hierarchy can make expressive UIs more usable for people across a spectrum of movement and visual abilities. You can learn more about the research over on design.google. And now I'm going to hand it over to Andrew and Connie to dive into the details.
Hi, I'm Andrew from Materials UX Design Team.
And I'm Connie from Materials Engineering Team. And we're going to run you through what exactly is in this update, starting with the fact that this is not a new version of Material. All these updates complement existing M3 features. M3 Expressive is bidirectionally compatible. This means all existing and new features can be used with both Material and Material Expressive theme, so you can start experimenting with them today. The new Expressive APIs are available as experimental in the Compose.Material 3 1.4 alpha libraries. Support is also available in the View system using com.google.android material library, starting in 1.13 alpha 11. This talk will focus on how to get started in Compose, which is the recommended way to build native Android UI. Let's dig in.
App makers told us they wanted more component flexibility, and we heard you. M3 Expressive includes 15 new and improved components that are more flexible and configurable than ever. Starting with app bars and toolbars, which together support navigation and actions. Previously known as Top App Bar holds a screen's key content and actions, such as its title and navigation menu. It's now more flexible, supporting multiple lines and subtitles, images, and center alignment, as well as medium and large sizes for emphasis. App Bar works together with Toolbar, a brand new component that replaces our old bottom app bar. Where App Bar supports navigation, Toolbar provides critical actions for the current page. Its versatile behaviors support a wide range of use cases. For example, the toolbar can dock to a screen edge or float above content. It can hold a variety of controls, like buttons and text fields, and also pair with a fab to emphasize a hero action. It can transform contextually and use color to distinguish itself and convey its state. And it even offers a vertical orientation to adapt to large windows. You might have noticed toolbars already in use in Google Chat. Next, the classic button. This component expands with an array of new configurations. We now offer 5 different sizes that expand the range of emphasis, new squared and rounded variants that provide distinction and indicate state, and a range of icon button widths to create visual interest and hierarchy. Here's an example of some of our new buttons coming soon to Google Meet. Combined with existing color options, these buttons give you more room to mix and match styles for helpful and engaging layouts.
Let's try using these expanded button capabilities in code. Starting with a filled icon button, let's change it to have a square shape using the new shape parameter. Now you can see the icon button's container is squarish instead of round. Buttons now support shape morphing animation on interaction. For example, to animate the shape to a square on press, we can use the new Shapes parameter that performs a morph animation between different interactive states. For the commonly used small rounded icon button shown here, we provide a convenient default. On press, its shape morphs to a square, then morphs back to a circle on release. Next, let's change the original filled icon button to be extra large in size like you see on the left, by using the component default to set its size, shape, and the size of the content icon. The 3 different recommended widths can be similarly configured by passing the desired width option to the corresponding container size function. Here we see how to create a wide, rounded filled icon button. You can see more combinations of these configuration options in the samples and demos linked here.
The button family is growing even more with Split Button. Long seen in Google Workspace apps, this much requested component is now officially part of the Material catalog. It overflows into a menu of related actions, and just like regular buttons, it offers a range of sizes and styles. It can also live with other actions inside a toolbar. Next, we have button groups. These join buttons together for toggles or selections and automatically invoke a shape morph animation for an expressive touch. Standard groups relate independent actions together, while connected groups create a selectable set. That means they can replace the old segmented button. Groups support the same wide range of button sizes and shapes, and again are a great way to add expression with shape morph built in. Look out for this component coming to Google Meet.
Let's see how we can add our buttons from earlier into the new button group component. Like Andrew mentioned, the standard button group can contain buttons, icon buttons, or any interactive component that accepts an interaction source and applies the animate with modifier. When one item is pressed, its shape expands and squishes its neighbors. Button groups can also support children with different width or weights. When there's not enough room to display all of its children, button groups will provide an overflow option.
Now for a classic material component, the floating action button or FAB, which also gets some new tricks. Both FAB and extended FAB gain a new medium size option, a perfect fit for medium windows like foldables. Both also gain 3 new color mapping options, giving you more flexibility to choose their emphasis on screen. And finally, we've brought back the speed dial from M2 as a new component called FAB Menu. It provides easy access to related actions on tap, with an expressive unfurling motion built in.
Let me show you how the FAB menu provides an intricate transition animation encapsulated in a straightforward API. A floating action button menu animates between a toggle floating action button and a column of FAB menu items via the Animate Floating Action Button modifier. In addition, the Animate Icon modifier animates the icon of the main FAB to reflect its toggle state. A floating action button with expressive vibrant colors can also be used to expand to reveal the new floating toolbar. To achieve this, provide a horizontal floating toolbar with a FAB into a scaffold and apply a floating toolbar vertical nested scroll modifier to toggle its expanded state. The new floating toolbar is also vertically expandable. Its body content is configured using separate leading, trailing, and center content slots in order to animate them with respect to the center. Both orientations can also be configured to scroll off the screen.
A quick update on Carousel, an earlier M3 component that continues to embody expressive design. We've invested further in Carousel with new support for text and a more accessible overflow configuration. Now for a brand new component, introducing Loading Indicator. It's specially designed to add an expressive moment when content is loading in. As you can see, it features exciting new shapes we're introducing with this release, which we'll cover more later with styles.
The loading indicator can be used standalone or inside of an existing pull refresh component.
We've also updated the regular progress indicator. Both linear and circular formats gain options for track height and an expressive new wavy style that makes progress feel more alive and active. You've probably already seen our wavy progress indicators in places like the media player on Pixel.
The new wavy progress indicators provide advanced stroke and wave customization capabilities, but to create a wavy indeterminate circular progress indicator, you can simply call Circular Wavy Progress Indicator.
Finally, the navigation bar in Rail, serving your app's core navigation needs. The bar, which supports up to 5 destinations, gets revised colors that make the active item more visible, and a flexible new layout that adapts icons vertically or horizontally to optimize for medium windows. We've also updated the navigation rail for large windows like tablets. It now features both collapsed and expanded states, replacing the previously separate navigation drawer with one seamless, flexible component. Again, of course, both the bar and rail adapt to various screen sizes automatically.
Let's look at this updated navigation rail. When expanded, the icon in a nav rail item will move from above to in front of the label to take advantage of the extra available size. Navrail also supports vertical layout arrangements for the items via the new arrangement parameter. The navigation rail on bar components are adaptive by default when used with the Navigation Suite scaffold and its related APIs. These can be found in the Compose That Material Adaptive Navigation Suite library. So we've improved our components, making them more flexible and capable. But Material 3 Expressive is also about the styles within those components and throughout the UI.
And here we also have some big updates across Material's many style systems. Let's start with shape. It's evolved into a comprehensive library, including 35 new iconic shapes.
Use these to add playful expression and diversify and distinguish elements like avatars or a bespoke button. The shapes can be accessed via the Material Shapes API. But what about basic shapes? We've updated those too. The shape scale expands to 10 radius values and a new shape morph ability, as you've seen built into components like buttons, give shapes expressive motion. Use these options to really craft your UI, add visual interest, and enliven states and interactions. You can see in these examples that Gmail and Fitbit will be taking advantage of the new options.
Now, Shape Morph is just one part of an exciting update to Motion. Motion is now an official tokenized system in Material with out-of-the-box motion physics that you can customize for your product. Instead of hard-coding animations, you can pick from pre-made motion spring tokens, making your motion higher quality and much easier to implement. Animations used to require complex easing and duration specs. Now, physics-based springs produce fluid and natural motion with simple and time-saving tokens for both spatial transitions and visual effects. You can easily change their speed with faster or slower springs and adjust their feeling with a standard or expressive motion scheme. Use springs and motion schemes across your UI to make interactions come alive, including with motion already built into over 21 of our components.
A motion scheme contains two overall specifications for motion, spatial and effects. For each of those specs, there are default, fast, and slow animation specs that are available to use. You can configure the motion scheme for all components in the Material theme by overriding it in your theme. By default, there are two predefined motion schemes, Standard and Expressive. These schemes use spring animation specs under the hood. They can be used as is or customized. Here, my Snappy motion scheme changes all of the specs to snap immediately. Here we see the floating action menu items appear immediately in their final width. You can also apply the motion scheme to your own custom-built components by accessing the Material theme that motion scheme specs.
On the color front, M3 Expressive brings a host of updates that enrich colors throughout your app. To start, text and icons are brighter to better express colors like brand or dynamic themes. And those themes get richer and more diverse because we've upgraded dynamic color to unlock more variation and higher chroma across all hues. That means a greater range of style and personalization for users, whether they prefer soft neutrals or juicy vibrants. Apps adopting dynamic color get these upgrades automatically in the next version of Android. Whether you use dynamic theming or customize your own static theme, take advantage of the full material scheme to achieve rich and functional colors in your UI. That means using a variety of primary, secondary, and tertiary accent colors for hierarchy and distinction, and using tonal surface colors within thoughtfully grouped and contained content to create nuanced hierarchy that guides users through the screen.
Light Expressive Color Scheme has the updated on-container colors which affect content colors such as text and icon. The surface container color roles, which were recently added, could also be accessed via the Color Scheme API. If you already use our dynamic color functions, no additional action is needed to benefit from the aforementioned updates. Just switch your theme from Material Theme to Material Expressive Theme and use Expressive-like color scheme.
When it comes to typography, we've extended the type scale with new emphasized styles that offer a stronger weight. Use them to finesse hierarchy and, for example, give extra impact to a headline or subtly strengthen text of the same size. They also give you room to customize your fonts for expression or brand. Google Fonts offers a huge library of typefaces to do so, including variable fonts that enable truly unique designs. They're especially useful for bespoke, editorial-feeling type that draws attention. Now remember that all these features play well together. Combine type, shape, color, our flexible components, and more to not only create an expressive visual style, but build powerful hierarchy that directs users' focus and makes your app more functional too. In particular, try layering on these features in hero moments. These are places that highlight special functionality or frame content in a delightful way. In these places, the full breadth of materials, styles, and components can help you create an especially expressive moment that celebrates the unique value of your product. And now back to Aneesha.
Phew, that's a lot. You can, of course, explore everything we've talked about and more in our guidelines, design kit, alpha code, and API documentation. We're really excited to see everything you make. Share your work with us and your feedback by using the hashtag M3Expressive on socials or by tagging @Google Design on Instagram and X. And keep an eye out for expressive updates making their way into Google's apps in the coming months. Thank you.